Good morning. This is Steve Madden, the founder and director of the Institute for Biblical Learning and general manager for the Foundations Network. I wanted to come to you today to share a testimony in my life of God's moving and being right on time and actually saving my life. Now, what had happened was several weeks ago, I was found to have iron deficiency. They scheduled me for infusions and scheduled a colonoscopy. During this colonoscopy, they found a mass on the right side of my colon, which is normal when it comes to colon cancer. They scheduled out in a few weeks then some scans, CAT scans, PET scans, this type of thing to make sure nothing had spread. They had biopsied the mass and said that both ends were benign. Yet the doctor called me specifically to tell me he felt that inside there or within the mass there was cancer and that we needed to be concerned. So during that time, about July 4th, my wife and I were eating, and I began to have a pain in the middle of my stomach and kind of tried to work with it through the next morning. And it went down to around the area where that mass was, what I found out, and stopped. It had become a blockage. So I called in and they had me come into the emergency room and scheduled emergency surgery for me. Now, during that surgery, what they did is they removed the mass and they took apart a couple pieces of my intestine as well and sewed everything back up and got that out of there. Now, during that time, they had done CAT scans on my lower regions, and during the operation, according to my doctor, they found, or they removed 31 lymph nodes, and they were all clear. Pancreas, liver, all of that were clear of cancer. They took a chest x-ray before I left the hospital, and the doctor came back and said, that is a beautiful, it's a beautiful scan because there was no cancer. So basically, was cancer-free. Now, they went ahead and sent the mass off for a biopsy and all of that. And when everything came back, they told me this is what had happened. I had stage 2 cancer in my body, but everything was gone. And I do apologize for getting emotional about this, knowing that what she had told me was that if I had let that obstruction go any longer, I could have died in the next couple of days. The other thing is, if that cancer had opened up, it would have metastasized in my body, and we would be facing stage 4 end-of-life cancer. Now, even the doctor today, I went to the doctors today, and she admitted, and she said that was a miracle. And that God had performed a miracle being right on time. I mean, the significance of the time that it was removed and all this happened literally saved my life. Now, and I just want to speak to you out there. God, He can work a miracle in your life. You have to listen, though. You have to listen. I mean, if I wouldn't have listened to that pain and got in there and took care of that, I mean, I could have died. Now, the thing here is that when God speaks, we need to listen. And this is not a sermon right here, but I just wanted to share this testimony of how God, He moves in our lives. If we listen to Him, He can, and I was wondering, I said, God, what do you want me here for? I mean, this could have been end of life. I'm 61 years old and I could have died. And I believe that God has a purpose and a plan. And I do believe that this particular ministry, the Foundations Network, as we're expanding and everything, has something to do with that. And what I want to do right now is I want to play a video for you about the time that the we started knowing about this. They were scheduling the colonoscopy and all this. I listen to music, and when it comes to Christian music, very few things really move me or stop me. But this particular song that I want to play for you right now stopped me, because it was, and I think my wife kind of said, this is your song for this particular point, and I want you to listen to it. I want you to listen to the words that are sung on this song. She said, you said words like, you stepped in to save my life. Always on time. Listen to this now, and I will come back shortly to talk to you for a few more minutes.